All right, guys, welcome to my YouTube channel and my math channel. In this channel, I will try to be teaching my sister math, but not just my sister, anybody who watches the video. So whenever I'm talking through this video, I'll be talking like I'll try to generalize it, so for a broad audience. So anybody who hears it's not just my sister that I'm talking to in this video. So it could be for anyone. So my purpose of this channel is gonna try to be teaching my sister math. So she's currently taking eighth grade curriculum math for in Texas. So I'll be trying to following that, but the subjects, they could be for any math class. So you could subject the problems that she could be working through, or the ones that I'm working through on these videos. You could also be working through in your class or whatever you're trying to learn. So yeah, so that's what we'll be doing. So again, these videos or what I'll be working to with the math that I'll be working with are targeted towards my sister. But in case anything were to happen or these videos were to target a bigger audience, then I'll definitely look into different math problems, different math that I may be knowledgeable in. So just for a little background information, I'm in college right now. I'm currently a freshman. I'm trying to get my associates right now in math. So math is my favorite subject. I know a lot of math, but as far as my knowledge goes, it's not the best. But with what I know right now, I try to work with these problems, make them as simple as possible for people to solve, and if and I'll try to study the math more, even though it's simpler, easier math, I guess you can say for me. I still try to study it so it could be easier for me to teach and easier for me to understand because people can still forget this as time goes. But you know, uh, I still try to study it so I can have a better understanding whenever I talk about it. So yeah. So for today, this might not be aligned with the unit as it's currently being taught because of some difficulties in school, but currently we're working in, I believe it's Unit 3, and we are talking about equations with variables on both sides. And all right, well, let's get into it. So this will be one of the first problems that I'll be talking about, and I'm sorry if you guys hear background noise. So I'll probably be clicking my mouse a lot because I'm moving around problems, and I'll be writing them down so I can break through them. So, all right. So first, let's look at a problem, and we'll try to solve it. And yeah, all right, let's get into it. So this is one problem that we'll be looking into. 8 minus 4x equals x plus 13. And what we're going to try to do is solve for x. So we're going to try to find x, right? What is x? Because right here, right now, what we're seeing right now is x is just a letter, the letter x. But that's yeah, in math, when we see a letter, it's called a variable. So, all right, what can we do to solve for x? So first of all, what we can try to do is I'll try to explain it as I go. But first, when we see these problems, when we start solving them, all right, what we're gonna try to do is move the x terms, or whatever term you're using, but the variable. So right now I'm calling it x term because it's an x, but try to move the x terms to the left side when we are solving and move the constants to the right side. And constants are just the numbers. So as the constants that we have in this equation would be 8 and 13. You'll see we'll separate them to the right side and leave the x terms to the left side. And that's what we'll go about it. So yeah, constants can be pretty much any number. It could be -5, -1,000,000, or a million. But yeah, numbers are pretty much called a constant, and variables would be the x terms, s term, anything that your variable is, a term, any letter that you use for a variable. But yeah. All right, so let's get to solving this equation. So, all right, so we first want to move the x terms to the left side. And here we see that in this equation, I'm gonna rewrite it again. In this equation, we have x term on the left side, for x is as a x term, and x by itself is a x term. So we want to get rid of the x term that is on the right. So just so you know, on the top part, I'm gonna write it. The right part is from this equal sign to the right, and the left part is from this equal sign to the left. So, oops, I think I accidentally erased it, but yeah, there it goes. It's back. So, yeah, on the left side, that's the left side, that's the right side. Label it R and L, left and right. So we don't want that X term to be there. We want to get rid of it, right? So essentially, one thing that I like to tell my sister a lot, that when she sees an X, how do you get rid of that, of an X? How do you get rid of it? She sometimes gets confused. And maybe other people also get confused. I used to get confused too. And what I would do to get rid of that X is that I would usually divide. But usually when you divide, or yeah, when you divide, you don't really get rid of whatever you're trying to get rid of. Because if you divide something by itself, so x divided by x would just equal 1. Just think of it like doing a number. So 2 divided by 2 would equal 1. 5 divided by 5 would equal 1. So you're not getting rid of it because 1 is still a number. It's still something, right? 1. Still something. So how do you generally get rid of something? For example, when you get rid of something, I try to think like a little bit outside of the box. So when you get rid of something, you pretty much have nothing, right? So, excuse me. So let's say you have 5. Let's just go back to the basics. Let's say you have 5 apples. Give away 5 apples. You're left with 0 apples. You have no apples. So what you're trying to get is 0, right? Because 0 is nothing. You have nothing. So in order to get rid of this right-sided x term, what we can do is to rewrite it one more time. And to get rid of this x term, we just subtract another x term. I'm sorry, we just subtract an x, 1x, just for a little information. We don't usually write the 1, but that's essentially when you see an x without any number, like this 4x, when you see an x just by itself, it essentially means 1x. We just don't write the 1. So when you take away an x from an x, you get 0. Remember that there's a if you probably hear this a lot, but remember what you do to one side. So what I just did to this right side, I also do it to the left side. So minus x, or write the 1x so if it's easier. And remember, you see this negative sign right here, or the subtraction sign, that pretty much means that it's a -4x minus 1x. Remember, when you're in the negatives and you subtract from a negative, you're counting just try to remember as if it was like try to think of it as if a number line. So we have 0 right here, number line. We have a -4 right here, and we take away -1. We're going backwards, right? So the next number would be -5. And, and so if you were to take away more, then, you know, taking away -2 from -5, you keep on going backwards, so it'd be -7. But if you were to add, then you go forward, right? So you add 2 to -4, and you'd go to -2. It's like you're repaying debt or you owe debt, right? The more you owe, the more money, the more you're in the negatives. The more you pay, the least you're in the negatives. So you go up the number line, right? So that's how I like to think about it. So yeah, we get rid of this right-sided x term, and what we did at one side, we did it to the other side. So this should turn into 8 minus 5x. The 5x because we counted, we went backwards on the number line when we did minus 1x to the negative 4x, and it equals 0. We don't write the 0 because it's nothing, and it's third equals 13. We don't write the plus sign because the plus sign usually means it's a positive. So whenever you have a positive number, you don't write the positive sign, the plus sign. Unless it's a negative, you do write the negative sign. So, all right, on the right side, we currently have no x terms, which is good. But on the left side, we have a constant or a number, which we don't want on the left side. But just so you know, we also see a number right here, right? Right next to the x. And that's fine. It's fine. we that's fine. You'll see that we will also get rid of it. But for now, this is how we go about it. All right. So rewriting it, 8 minus 5x equals 13. Right. Good. So on the left side, we want to get rid of that number. It's a positive. There's no negative right to the left of the 8, so we know it's a positive. How do we get rid of it? We subtract, right? It's a positive. Let's say we have 8 apples. Give away those 8 apples, you get nothing, right? So that turns into 0. But now, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. On the left side, you subtracted 8. So on the right side, you subtract 8. Uh, take away, have 13 apples, take away 8, give away 8, you're left with 5. Rewriting this equation, we're left with the negative 5a, I'm sorry, the negative 5x, which equals 5. All right, so again, let's go back to the start, guys. We're trying to look for x, right? We're trying to look for x. No negative x, we said x. So we say a number, maybe say 15, 5. We're trying to talk about positives. So we say x, we're looking for positive x. And we're not looking for a million x's or 5x's or 20x's. We're looking for x, which means we're looking for one positive x. Right now, on the left side, we can read that as negative 5x's. So we currently have 5x's that are negative, and we're looking pretty much the complete opposite of that. We're looking for one positive x. So we get rid of that -5, and now this is where you divide. This is not you don't add or anything this time. This is where you divide, because if you were to add, you would have to add something that has the same variable, same x term. So let's say you were to add plus 5x, or let's say plus 6x, right? Make that into 1x, but you can't add plus 6x to the 5 because it's they don't have the same variable, so that doesn't work. But if you were to divide by -5, remember when you divide and multiply uh, two negatives, that equals a positive. So negative 5 divided by negative 5, that gives you 1x, one positive x, and a positive and a negative unfortunately make a negative, so that's -1. So rewriting this in simpler without the number next to the x would be x equals -1, and that should be your answer if you were to input that or check. You can also check this just for a quick reference. We can go ahead and check it. So for example, 8 minus 4s equals s plus 13. We said that s equals -1, and let's go ahead and do it. So 8 minus 4 parentheses -1. Parentheses are just to say that you're going to multiply it times the number right next to it, so 4. So for example, let's say we did 8. So let's say 4 times -1 would equal -4. But it's already a negative. -4 is already a negative. So let me rewrite this again. We could also write this as -4 times -1, which would give us a positive, right? Two negatives equal positive. So it would actually be 8 plus 4 because it's no longer a negative. The negative sign goes away, right? Because of what we did right here. So it goes away. And it's now 8 plus 4, which equals 12. Now on the left side, that's not a 5. That's a S. It's just my 5s look like an S. But, all right, we can also do the same thing. -1 plus 12. Easy. I'm sorry. Plus 13. So just clean up the number line, right? So -1 plus 13. That will give you 12. You can also rewrite this like this: 13 minus 1, which also gives us 12. This is better to get used to the number line or thinking about it in the number line in your head. But that's how you pretty much solve equation with variables on both sides. All right, so perfect. Just some things that I'll try to do now is just try to leave some problems for you guys to be able to solve in the description down below. I'll be writing the answers in the description. And if you can't solve them or you need help solving the equations, then feel free to ask. Or so for this one, you'll be solving for T. Feel free to ask if you have any questions. I'll be glad to help you with these questions. Uh, Other than that, I really hope that you were able to find my video helpful. And any of you guys have any more suggestions on how I should teach, or if you guys have any more if you guys want to add on to this video, or if you guys don't like the way I teach, or if you guys suggest something, please feel free to tell me down below. And all right. we'll see you guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll be making more videos, hopefully. And, hopefully my the way I teach gets better, or I can find better words to explain these terms, these questions, these problems. But besides that, thank you guys for watching. If it's only my sister that watched, then thank you for watching. And if more than one person watched, then thank you guys for watching. But besides that, guys, and that's it. Then God bless you guys and have a good